The Joe Rogan Experience.
My thing was tight jeans. You wouldn't imagine me wearing tight jeans on stage. How much that pisses people off.
Well, it's because you're handsome.
But
That's part of the problem. You're a good-looking guy up there with tight jeans.
shaking ass.
Shaking that ass, showing that bulge. Get out of here.
Dude, and then I'm like...
Bring back Merle Haggard. What the fuck is this?
So, Joe, one thing, my biggest hurdle ever in my career, and it still breaks my heart to this day. Back when your only way to make it in music is you've got to stop people's eyeballs on you. You got to grab them vocally, visually, musically different. You got to get them to stop for 2 seconds and go, what is that? What is that fucker doing right there? And when I came out with Country Girl Shake It For Me on the CMAs shaking my ass, I mean, I had to do it that way. In my opinion, I had to go, this is my moment to show Country Girl Shake It For Me, and I'm the guy that dances and don't give a damn, and let's have some fun and come along for the ride. And it was amazing. It was amazing. The fact that I'm a Georgia boy at the time, and I was talking to Texas people, I was talking to everybody. Well, then at some point, a label for me became Bro Country. Had you ever even heard that term?
I did because of you. Yeah.
Well, so I heard it, and I'm like, well, Bro Country. Well, then I started seeing the people making fun of Bro Country, and I'm like, well, this is kind of fucking pissing me off. And then me and some other artists start getting looped into this Bro Country phase. Well, when I was in my form of coming up as an artist, and I don't even know we don't have to live on this long, but you'll be amazed, dude. So I would go play. I made my way by going to Georgia and playing Georgia college towns in the Southeast, and even I played Auburn a little bit, Auburn, Alabama, and that school. I always wanted to break into Auburn and Tuscaloosa because I was always a Georgia artist. Well, I started branching out. Well, dude, I'd get done with a college party. I'd walk off stage. The first thing that would happen is, 369, damn, she fine. Give it to me one more time. Get low. I mean, and right when my set got done, hip hop. The vibe went to a nightclub, and I done walked off the stage, went to the bar, ordered the beer, and watched everybody that just let me play Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, all the classics, my couple of new songs, and I was like, well, man, nobody's got a fucking problem with this. This is we're all together in this good time. So when I did Country Girl Shake It For Me, that made that tie.
Crossover. It combined them.
It made it tie to a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Jason Aldean had his She's Country, fucking biggest song. When I heard, at the time when Jason and I are buddies, he does She's Country, I do Country Girl Shake It For Me, and me and him are like, we're like, this shit, our lives are, I toured with Jason one year and he broke all of Elvis's indoor records. We did it for 2 years. I was the opener and Jason was the headliner, and people and rap we were playing rap before the show, and everybody was in. Well, then Bro Country comes along. Dude, I wake up on the bus one morning and I got this interview. Sitting there drinking my coffee in my fucking underwear, and this dude calls me with Hits Magazine. And he goes, well, Luke, man, this Bro Country thing. And I said, well, hold up, buddy. Here's what this is. And I said, and man, I did this, and I made one fatal error. And at the time, Joe, no one hated my ass. I believe that. I mean, because I was coming to Billy Bob's, playing. Well, I had Texas. I had I'd go to Bozeman, Montana, and play Country Girl Shake It For Me. I'd go to everywhere. Well, and I said, man, I don't know how to be an outlaw. I'm not an outlaw. I'm a college dude that played frat parties for country music. I was like, I fucking did not go sit in a prison cell like Merle Haggard and write songs about guys going to death row. And I didn't go to Folsom Prison. And man, I listed all the, I was like, I'm not like Willie Nelson. I don't do Willie Nelson. They're outlaws. And I said, if it's bro country and that's what I'm labeled as, I said, and where I fucked up is I said, I haven't spent the night like sleeping on the street. And I didn't say like Johnny Cash's song, Sunday Morning Coming Down. That's what I meant. I just didn't tie it. Well, that dude took that article and said, Luke Bryan says outlaw country people are basically drug addicts that sleep in the street. And man, I pissed the way they manipulated that story, I lost that whole crowd right then.
Wow.
Broke my heart. And I think Waylon Jennings' daughter went real public with she's fucking mad at my ass. And dude, she went on there going, Luke, my dad never laid, and I never meant that. I just meant, Waylon was in there too. But we all know what all those guys are because we got to watch all the documentaries about those guys, and we got to be students of those guys.
Well, that's the problem with interviews. Is first of all, they're trying to get you.
Well, your interviews are the beauty. Well, and no one's gotten popped more than you because they'll take our. Man, I hope we sit here and bullshit for 3 hours, but they'll take your 5 minutes.
Right. Out of context.
And now they'll AI you.
That's happened a lot. Yeah.
So what happened, man, that thing started growing. And, man, I had motorcycle gangs wanting to burn my house down.
Oh, my God.
When you get misrepresented in that type of deal, and then the subcategories of articles, then the article of the article of the article.
What year was this?
Man, I don't know. It was probably 2012 or 13.
So this was when social media was not as impactful.
It was becoming.
Was YouTube even around then?
Yes, and clickbait, the world of clickbait was getting rocking.
Right.
What I did is, man, I called Waylon Jennings' daughter and said, I said, ma'am, I just forgot to say like the Chris Christopherson song, Sunday Morning Coming Down. That's all I meant by that. And I think she accepted. I text Willie. He sent me the best reply. He goes, it's okay to step on your dick, just don't stand on it. I called Jesse Waylon. I called Jesse Coulter, and she goes, Luke, what did you mean in the interview? And I told her, and she goes, Waylon stopped doing print interview, and but by then the narrative started, and since then, I can always tell that if that one little thing, I probably would have kept that whole base. And then oh my God, he wears tight jeans and he must homosexual on the side, as I'm posing with my all-American family.
I think it's probably a thing also. They think Hollywood has invaded country music, which is always a big threat because there's so much money in country music that they think these Hollywood executives that don't understand or appreciate real country are going to come in and make something inauthentic. So then they hear you saying that, get misrepresented, and then they take it as a part of all of that, right?
Joe, so my album came out. I worked on an album for 3 years. It's called Mind of a Country Boy, and I put it out like 1st of October. And I didn't want to put the damn album out because the reality is I'm not at the height. Every artist hits their peak, you know it. I mean, I sold out. I was selling out football stadiums first day. 3 or 4 years I did it. I know that's my peak, probably. I know it is. Fuck, I'm not going to even say probably. I'm a realist. Well, so we put the album out, and I said, you know what? No albums sell. Nothing sells anymore. So I knew there was going to be a negative take on the album. I knew something negative would come by me putting the album out based on it may not sell. And it sold what it would. It didn't do. It did what I thought it'd do. As me being the artist where I'm at in my life.
Especially in this world of streaming.
Right.
Nothing's buying anymore.
Nothing's buying. Well, dude, I did 40 hours of all the stuff. The liners. Hey, Luke Bryan here. Go to so-and-so and download my new album. 20 hours of it. Do all the interviews. Fly, do my late nights. And I did an interview with Andy Cohen. Never met Andy. I always loved what he did. And Andy, Beyonce did the country album, and she didn't get any CMA nominations. Well, I'm the host of the CMAs, me and Lainey Wilson and Peyton Manning this year. And I've hosted the CMAs 4 years. And Andy goes, what do you think about Beyonce getting snubbed? And first of all, we don't even know if Beyonce knows she got snubbed or didn't get a CMA nomination. We don't. This is all
people on the outside talking.
People
about
on the outside creating it, and I knew it right when he asked me. I said, "Fuck, man, I don't need to answer this. This is a fucking trap." And I don't. And Andy, I don't think he was trapping me. He was just.
It was on the public consciousness about country music.
He's a New York guy. He goes, Beyonce, what do you think about the snub? And I went, and I had a team of people in the room
panicking.
No, they were like, and I said, you know what? I'm the host of CMAs. I'm not going to dodge this one. And I answered it pretty damn great. 10 out of 10.
What'd you say?
I said, well, first of all, Beyonce's fans are the fucking most loyal fans in the world to her. First thing I said. Beyonce's fans have her back. First thing I said. I said, no one in Nashville is mad that she made an album. What I meant was nobody is trying to not nominate her. And her album had came out early in the year. A lot of times, if an artist puts an album out early in the year, these cycles are so fast. They're on to the voting communities in country music. They're on to the next thing, and it's almost like
you have to be strategic when you release it.
It helps.
Yeah.
Well, I answered that. I said, and all I said was, man, probably Beyonce, if she came in and was in the country music community a little more, or high five some people, come have a beer, hang backstage. And I said, Beyonce's one of the biggest stars in the world. Why would country music not want, this thing that you wouldn't want it? And dude, man, Andy ranted in that 15-minute interview, and ain't nobody talked about my fucking album coming out. And, dude, the manipulation of that, what I thought was a great response, man.
You can't win.
You 100 times more than me. But what hurts you is when your heart's good, right? My heart is never in a place to hurt somebody. I am never trying to hurt somebody.
So you don't think that anybody's going to try to do that to you? So you don't think they're going to try to take
Buddy,
your words
I'm
out
one
of
of those
context?
guys. I'm one of those guys, when I leave the room and get in the car and people are like, that dude was just a fuckhead to you. I'd be like, you know what? Now that I think about it, he was. And I'm like, maybe I'm like gooberly country naive. Maybe I am, but I don't live in a space where people
You're
are.
just nice. That's all it is. You're a nice guy.
And you know, and then you know the deal. You get to where it consumes you